towards the boathouse here is actually the attacker swarming in here and actually want to open the round up here with a headshot.
Nicely with the first blood, but that site slowly opening up. Daiki just running that clock down, staying silent, going for the surprise kill. First one works, and the second. Going for that 1 versus 1. Can she get the third, but finally gets stopped. Already TL's on the rotation for support, and they also get the round.
Yeah, actually, whether or not really any commitment here for FENNEL on this initial swing. The one-way goes up, a couple of players ahead of it. Naxy, though, to find the first with Spectre, and the second Festival will fall.
Just solo work. She doesn't need any help for now. Yes, there was a one-way smoke, but everything else was all with her Spectre. As bstrdd is now moving out, getting a lot of control towards mid. Big flash to come out. naxy continue to go to work. That spike down, and that's a clean prime giving flawless. Much better aimers than you. So they're coming in with a lot of confidence, really want to shut this down early against FENNEL.
Even just coming back to the map veto as well, this is one that there's so many reps for Liquid, and really got the macro nailed down here. Well drilled here on Ascent. FENNEL initially no real probe towards mid, but fast rotation, I guess, on the back of a little bit of utility from Liquid. You have the Killjoy set up here, though.
Exactly. A lot from naxy, but just from one haunt, that's already one. Nanostorm already popped off, the dash coming in, but it's still Festival that falls first. And just through the smoke is going to get the headshot onto Len as well. Well done by naxy. And that's going to make FENNEL just lick their wounds, fall back, and try to recut the noise.
Yeah, no pressure anywhere else on the map, not even short here. So Liquid happy to receive that, especially with the Killjoy rotating across the A site. And that setup just outside A main. This was DRN actually, curious towards short here. On the Bulldogs, it could take a ranged engagement. Actually does spot the head, but wise to back away. One smoke up, another one back in 4 seconds. But already, naxy's made the way all the way over to B site here.
Exactly. That information to rotate back. Daiki's even watching it from the back of mid. So Team Liquid have great map control on the defender half. Now, we have FENNEL trying to rotate back towards the catwalk. That's going to be a smoke coming out from DRN, but naxy holding towards the A main. And we just can't cross the line, at least into enemy territory. For FENNEL, finally, KOHAL's going to be able to do a bit, but that's not going to be enough. Liquid are currently setting up as well at the beginning of these rounds. And they're going to pop things off early. Mid-control, headshot onto bstrdd.
She's just catching her own flash there. First blood in favor of FENNEL. Weapon semi-retrievable. Daiki ready to try and contest it at least, but actually will be rewarded. The paranoia is perfect from DRN.
Now we're just trying to delay, and that's going to keep FENNEL unfortunately pinned close. It's time for Team Liquid instead to push forward, and this is, again, not looking good for FENNEL, but again, it's just an eco round that you see coming into this round. Only Len, the last player standing for the team on the Japanese side, against 3 players watching the spike.
Already, though, 2 great examples of mid-rounding from Liquid, just how versatile they're willing to be around the map. Len, Sheriff in hand, still got the light shield, but got to isolate one of these kills at least. Spike is retrievable. I think on the back of that smoke might be a bit of spam yet. Now Len's problems are mounting.
Harder.
Yeah.
Easy round there, easy pickup for Daiki, and that's 4 rounds for Team Liquid, and it's
tiles to greet the other end of it. Now there's one potential to force off that early angle.
Right on the top of catwalk. And that's because the knife came out and we couldn't actually pop out the nanoswarm, so a nice attempt for Team Liquid. But the battle ensues towards mid. Trying to take this control. Daiki so pushed up, just on the right side of the arches.
Not noted though, the Prowler misses.
What trigger discipline? There's 1 and 2, and the crossfire is perfect for Team Liquid. A slight mistake, a slight mishap for FENNEL, but they pay a heavy price.
What a setup, and I think it's actually on the back of actually the operator being noted on shore, as well the second layer to that being naxy, that maybe there's just a little complacency here shown towards that mid-utility. Len now, you can see Liquid. No nonsense once again, they're tucking up, they're ready to take this engagement. Don't want to give any space for Len to work with.
Very, very well done. Shows like almost has been playing this for 10 years pretty much. But silver lining, at least we have a Blade Storm for a Festival. Being popped out, we heard it coming through. Orb also being picked up to allow Curumi to at least get the Nightfall into the next round, and a Stinger that we currently have too.
Potential here for a Festival to get something done. Liquid actually tempering Ever so slightly. A deeper hold this time around. Killjoy set up towards short. Actually, yeah, just trying to avoid any possibility of getting suppressed on the way through here. No progress anyway. Actually, Spike creeping back towards this operator. Just unscoping at the wrong moment there, but gonna take a second dip at it and gets rid of the Blade Storm.
Had the Blade Storm to work with, dashes away, gets the headshot on to her opponent, sorry. As Nachi, meanwhile, fights towards Wine. So that null command was actually pretty good being done by Nachi to funnel everybody else towards that B site. Unfortunately, Nachi, a fragment that doesn't connect. We're still trying to cut her down as Funnel's trying to go for a split. Too much going on right now for Funnel. They can't take control of anything. I don't even know if he really walked into the site, either of these sites, since pistol round for Funnel.
No, the near side coming perfectly for that blender set up on Tree. Nothing else to do. The headshot will land 6 on the board now for Liquid. Had nothing really other than the Blade Storm to invest. And the way this has gone, it's just so lopsided. Actually, the dash ahead here. Festival looking to find the opener.
One stuck in logs. Bastard somehow still manages to get the shot.
Not.
Forces out the Hunter's Fury from the opponents. And finally, we open up the site for FENNEL. A 3 versus 2. 1 player advantage for the attackers as we finally make it into the site.
Big tag onto Suzu, though. That Hunter's Fury. TP actually all the way into main. Not contested here, so DRN's got a little bit of space to work with. And actually now, that position on the other side, but Suzu going to find it.
Unfortunately, looking to clear the corner of the right side of Garage, gets picked out there by Suzu on top of Market.
Suzu's down to 2 after that shot dart.
Just so much money to work with. I like the idea to go for it, make it expensive for Funnel, but this round. It's a knife coming out. Counter dart, so we see some aggression coming out from Daiki. And with that, FENNEL, sorry, they're looking to work back towards the mid slowly.
The drone actually to clear space here. It's a very, very deep push. Liquid not phased at all by that previous pace change. On the back of that, FENNEL looking to find their way through towards Market. Lockdown invested actually just to clear out kind of close sight. And actually looking for the counter. That's going to prevent any progress unless they rush this.
We're actually running into it, so FENNEL definitely looking to try to break it, work towards spawn. Nice double dash to try to get in and get the kill onto Daiki. Can we make it out? With success.
It's just 4 players from FENNEL now wrapping through the defender's spawn. Actually, Nachi and Naxy, choice but to let them pass for the time being.
Still at 2 players, though, from Team Liquid on the A site. At the tree, at the A main. And this is all individual fights that are about to happen. Len gets that victory against Nachi. Paranoia comes out.
Festival? What?
Nice kill. Fully blind.
Actually caught that Paranoia.
And that is continuing to be clean for FENNEL, as there's only 1 player left, and Naxy still has enough money to buy into the next round. Still an opportunity to make things very expensive for the attackers on this post plan as Festival goes for the jump peak and spots the defender, the remaining defender for Team Liquid. She's looking for the opportunity to look for those exits.
Curumi tucked in, low HP, down to 20. Festival, no nonsense. What a round again from Festival.
Sticking together is the name of the game for FENNEL. As for this round, we're picking up the pace towards B main with the Prouder to clear things out. Festival, as you mentioned before, the one that's going to get, or try to get first contact this time towards this B site.
I've always seen Naxy as well. You see Naxy's set up to try and slow down Festival, prevent that dash onto switch and kind of isolate, split up FENNEL on some of these heavy sight hits.
A lot of numbers there for sure. And there's that contact, and unfortunately, it's going to be Festival that picks up the head of Bastanda. Nano Swarm on the top of Catwalk to try to push the defenders away. And finally, there's some good mid-control coming out from the attackers. Festival looking to smoke up towards his Catwalk to allow the rest of FENNEL. 3 players moving up towards Pizza. It's a 3 versus 1 in this section. But Daiki still does her job before she gets picked off by KOHAL.
Let's see, Len with the TP to backside. This B site is wide open right now. Naxy, though, will catch one on the retreat, and that's the spike noted. Precarious position, but it will be recovered. Numbers advantage here for Liquid on the way back through. Actually, FENNEL trying to bait out with that tap of the spike to try and get another kill to make this a little more comfortable.
What's really important here are the paranoias from both of these Omens. And that comes out, both hiding inside the smoke. Len Still manages to get the headshot onto DRN. A 2 versus 2 and 15 seconds left. We have to commit into this site. But now as it gets spotted on towards the sidewalk, a 1v1 as Suzu's moving down, looking for the plant. It's gonna be a fake tap. Here's the spray. Knows where it's coming from now. 4 seconds left. Gets
Oh
the
my
headshot.
God.
And wow.
Suzu, ice cold, not even going for the plant with 4 seconds left on the clock, and well played, baited Liquid in. I think actually DRN's the first to fall inside that smoke.
Yeah.
Trying to spam in once again with that Vandal, but the Tracer's noted perfectly. What a round.
It looks like we just needed to shake a little bit of those nerves.
I mean, GB mentioned them being kind of an unknown entity, but they're so unpredictable right now. They're playing really, really slippery. It's as if Liquid can't really get a grasp on what they're going to do.
And that's a switch to be closed by Festival. Nice little haunt coming out as Festival was trying to get the spray, but no kill. Still decides to push through the Nanoswarm. But we have bloody kills going in towards this B side, but the advantage still comes out for FENNEL.
God.
2 versus 1 bastard. It's gonna have to try to clutch it. Activates now to Dash. Dashes away. She misses the spray onto the sidewalk. As that allows the last 2 players to try to set up, but no time. Nice shot coming in from Mastada. 2v1 for the Red Bull clutch.
I mean, this started off 6-0, but it's heating up now, coming into round 10. What a crazy exchange the last few rounds have been.
And allowing Team Liquid to take the lead now by 4. FENNEL once again looking for the control towards the B main.
And no command popped. Way ahead of the curve, honestly, just to slow things down. I think that's almost kind of hitting the panic button with how the last few rounds have gone, Vans.
Definitely. And with FENNEL, they decide to pull back. But just tapping the orb forced out the null command. That was huge here for FENNEL to take control of map
And they can
in
freeze.
the mid-round.
They can freeze. The drone's going to note presence outside here, but Liquid setup actually leaning heavier towards mid. You can see DRN and Bastarda set up ready for it. Finally now naxy going to drift back over towards B site. Then I've got plenty of time to work with though.
Unfortunately, DRN does get the first blood into this round. Still, null command's gonna be important as KOHAL gets that frag onto Bastarda. And that could be an important null command right into Kench bench, and it will happen. But naxy gets 2 kills on the back of mid.
Actually, the fragment should deal with it.
Right on it.
And gets the kill as well
My
to
God.
Suzu. What are these rounds? It's Liquid, and yes, it's 8-3, but some of these rounds, so back and forth.
Oh, okay, a change of pace actually for Team Liquid. Tried to go for a little
All the way
shark
to
attack.
tiles, yeah.
But instead, they couldn't find anybody. FENNEL's all the way out towards the A site and getting ready to go for a hit. But they haven't really activated and haven't moved quickly from that. And finally the Nightfall comes out. That's going to spot a few.
Big info here, but FENNEL should find themselves a free site. A lockdown available for the retake.
Such a low
Just the
buy.
Blade Storm and the TP for DRN.
Naxy though on the top of heaven. KOHAL to answer back towards the doorway. But as we mentioned it before, once the action starts, it's going to be chaotic. Working with the buddy system for Team Liquid to try to go for the retake. It's a 3 versus 3. Decent positioning going out on the pulse plan for the attackers. As it's a 1-for-1 towards the doorway. One hiding towards the dice. It's Len. Head-to-head against naxy. But Bastarda's there to save. A 2 versus 1. Suzu, it's planted for her. First headshot coming in. Now we've gotten halfway.
Oh, the
and
turret!
unfortunately, the turret gets the kill on the clutch.
Oh, no! naxy can just stick it through. Very minor kind of difference in composition that might come across. Whether or not actually FENNEL were gonna, it'd be very unorthodox for them to sit back and try and play these kind of anti-plant setups here on Ascent.
Yeah.
Particularly as we come through to the bar. Actually, a couple of members of Liquid marked here. I don't see an initial rotation finally. Actually, KOHAL going to make her way over towards Tree. Both members, Len and Curumi, actually down on site here, so they could get overwhelmed very quickly, Vance.
In a great spot, though. Len is at hell and does have the paranoid to work with, but not anymore as naxy gets the opening kill. Now battling inside the smoke, Curumi answers back, but she only has 10 HP remaining. We're flooding the site at least for Team Liquid, but we're also dropping like flies as the rotation is already coming through for FENNEL. naxy answers back. Daiki continuing to do the same as the numbers are now back in favor of Team Liquid. Spike is yet to be planted. Just trying to make sure that we stand our ground. And here is the attempt on the retake on the last 2 players. What a read by naxy for the first kill. Suzu then answers back, but man, that was a...
Well, whether or not that trend will continue. Heavy stack towards B this time around. No investment though. Classics across the board. FENNEL want to pile everything basically into round 15 on that purchase. Liquid's buy actually well rounded out with 3 Bulldogs as well, so well equipped actually.
Yeah. This is going to be a very hard fight to take for FENNEL here. Going for the full eco and hoping into the later rounds they could come back on the defender half. But a great execution comes in for Team Liquid, but they'll soon realize the site is up for grabs, that the stack was actually on the other end of the sites.
And going for one of these plants that we did see on kaquka's heat map here, but actually FENNEL trying to get ahead of the curve, try and prevent that from happening, but suzu punished for it.
Bastaja, what a beautiful cloud burst to just give a one-way angle, and that was pretty much it. Well, at least with that full eco that they had for FENNEL, WL have full utility. And going fast at the beginning of this round.
Another set piece, yeah, to try and take this mid control early. DRN just giving up that angle, allowing a little room for Festival to play with, potentially. Gonna hear this rotation back through spawn, though, so I'm hoping to look at the minimap and see a couple of other FENNEL bodies headed that way.
Shadows traveling.
Especially at the turret spawning top mid. We did the utility for that fade on the B main. It's time to rotate, and finally you do see Curumi rotating over towards this A site. See that execution coming out from Team Liquid as daiki opens it up. Moving in with the rest of her teammates into A main. Battle on the top of mid in favor of Festival, and that will allow this flank to happen. But daiki, ready, waiting, alert. Spike is going down.
Actually going to find a second as well, so Festival, an opportunity to make some magic happen here in the back lines.
2 players are stuck at the generator on this pulse plan for Team Liquid. DRN, though, is trying to fight it back. Festival getting 3 into the round and doing all the work herself.
18 HP.
Can she save it? A 2 versus 1. Not good enough. A wall bang for KOHAL. And a defuse comes in for FENNEL to put 4 onto the board.
Beautiful cleanup. Again, that's Festival really making use of that early progress towards mid. And like I said, the roadie thing done.
Shadows traveling.
I love that we're still having fun.
Shows here, though, in the next purchase. Light Shields, a Guardian.
Exactly.
To round things out. Again, though, Festival happy to swing out. And this time around, DRN had fortuitous timing in the previous round to give up that angle. Immediately, look at FENNEL are flooding towards A site right now.
Yeah, Team Liquid wants to react right away. They hear the owl drone from FENNEL. At least FENNEL hears the owl drone coming out on the attack on the A site. Prowler to counter back to spawn a few. And we're just getting ready to play the pulse play, but Festival is already low on HP.
Bastarda had to give up that angle there. Flash was invested just to set her up for success. Now, whether or not naxy has lineups for this position from main. Actually, even just going to throw through here. No nonsense. Festival going to find another one, though.
And that's naxy fighting back towards A main 2. ADSing at the front. A 3 versus 2. Curumi and Suzu trying to come back, but it's all up to Curumi now. At the dice, it's still going to be Bastarda trying to fight it off, and a double swing and a double peek from A main will put.
I mean, this is going to be it's going to rely on Festival to get something done here with the ultimate once again. And actually, Liquid, a little bit of a switch up here, showing presence towards B.
But at least Suzu is all the way out towards spawn. She can pop off the Nanoswarms to try to delay for a bit while they double up towards the back B. So this is a perfect setup by FENNEL, reading through the attack. There's that second Nanoswarm coming out, slowing the delay one more time, and all of FENNEL are now towards this B site to converge. Flash does not work, but at least a Paranoia does. And then naxy gets 2 kills towards the back of that, make that even 3. It's almost over there, and it will be after that kill as Team Liquid takes their first map against FENNEL, 13-4.
Beautiful, beautiful setup on the end there. Again, heads up play from Suzu to